Here we go. I'm already in Mojave National Preserve. I just came in far enough to get a look at the Kelso Dunes out there, and I'm turning around. I did the long ride down from Berkeley yesterday. It was a little bit rainy, but otherwise uneventful, and camped not too far away. So now I get my gear stashed, and I get to ride around the desert with a regular motorcycle instead of loaded down with all kinds of stuff. I took a cheap dash cam and mounted it to my helmet for this video. Every once in a while you might see me reach up to push a button on the dash cam. And so we're heading north on Kelbaker Road back towards Baker. You can see some Joshua trees here. It's just such a nice place to be. This dip and these black pavement sections are where the storms washed the road completely away last year. They did quite a job repairing it. This was just totally gone 4 feet deep here. All better now. I'm going to go a little bit south on the 15 and down a dirt road to my camp, and then we'll get back on it tomorrow. 15 north this time, and when we get to Baker, we will turn left, which is again north, and head to Death Valley. This is a nice, fun ride. It's hot, but I'm well prepared for it. Oh, it's beautiful. It's about 110, 112. We're loving it. This is California Highway 127 North, and I am going a little bit fast at 75. If you're driving on this road, especially in winter when there are a lot more police out here, be careful because the speed limits change all the time and they are fairly low. Most of the road is 55. This one section near Dumont I was really looking forward to, but these cracks in the road, it is so bumpy, it's jarring me. It's really bad. Harry Wade Road on the left is the long dirt road way into Death Valley. We'll pass it again in a few minutes. Also note this area got completely washed out in the storms a couple weeks later. I'm lucky I went when I did. Repairs are underway, but it'll take some time. Crossing over Ibex Pass. It's a tiny bit cooler over here. When it's really hot, I'll stop and take a break, but this time we're just going to keep going towards Death Valley. We're going to pass through these little badlands and then head into Shoshone. You'll notice it's a little greener here. That's because the underground Amargosa River is coming to the surface in this area. It actually flows underground from Nevada and then all the way around up into Death Valley and ends at the low point in Death Valley as a little pool that just evaporates away. Quick stop for a cold drink and ice cream, and we're almost into Death Valley. And here we go, turning into the southern paved entrance to Death Valley. It'll be quite a ways up over some mountains, and then we'll drop into the actual Death Valley. Here comes Salisbury Pass. I'll make a quick stop here to take some photos and just kind of cool off a little because this is the last time it's going to be at all cool and windy. I'm about to drop into Death Valley. So I'm basically just going to give you a look at the ride into Death Valley and a little bit at the bottom here inside of Death Valley itself. It's pretty hot. It's about 117. I'm going to breeze right through this and go up to the swimming pool at Furnace Creek Resort. And then after spending some time in the pool, I will have dinner in the resort's buffet, which is fantastic. Jubilee Pass. We're already well inside of Death Valley, but this is the last little hill before we start to drop down to below sea level. There's the other end of Harry Wade Road, which we passed earlier, coming up on the left. That would have been a really long, hot, bumpy, pretty much deadly dirt road to come on in summer. You can see we're passing some salt flats on the left there. It looks like water. That's just flattened out salt. There's nothing there. Those rare times when it does rain, the water pools up in the bottom of the flats here and just leaves the salt behind because it all evaporates really fast. Almost to the pool and food. After dinner, on my way home, I stopped at the Salt Creek Hills just outside of Death Valley, another place where there's a little bit of surface water sometimes. I basically could only see a bunch of green plants, as you see here. And then it's back the way I came, back to my camp, a little bit west of Baker. And the following afternoon, I'm heading home, passing through Newberry Springs on the 15th. Then I'll have another hour of wide open desert. And then I get to Tehachapi, a 4,000-foot mountain I got to climb over, and we'll stop for lunch at Keene here. The Keene Cafe is a nice little lunch spot. From there, it's across the Central Valley into Bakersfield. Stuck at a traffic light in Bakersfield, back in civilization. Further west across the Central Valley. And from here, it's about 200 miles north on Interstate 5. Lane splitting is legal here, and there's plenty of room for it, so whenever I can, I get away from these little groups of traffic. People pretty much travel in the left lane because the left lane is very smooth, and the right lane is super bumpy from all the very slow-moving trucks. The trucks have a lower speed limit, and they travel at pretty much 65 miles an hour. Traffic goes as fast as it can go. And we're at the Altamont, last pass into the Bay Area. Thanks for coming along.